So bring yourself down onto hands and knees. Maybe let your knees be a little bit wide. I quite like my knees to be together and just rest my belly on the knees. And if you want to extend your arms forward, go ahead. Or if you want to reach your arms back by your heels, go ahead and do that. Just let yourself just come into this child's pose. And take a few breaths to come back to that sort of just childish innocence of yourself, where you didn't have to worry about things. There wasn't much to stress about. You didn't really care what was on the news. So let yourself come to that nice sort of light mental state with full of creativity and imagination, that ease of life from being a child. Even if it's just for this next hour, or even if it's just for the next few seconds while I'm asking you to just think about that. Just try to bring yourself to that lightness, to that easiness, where you just don't take yourself so seriously. If you fall, if you stumble, who cares? You just get back up again. Start to reach your arms forward if they're not already reaching forward. And just crawl your fingers a little bit forward so your arms have a bit of action in them. So your elbows are a bit lifted. You're not straining, but it's just a little bit of that sort of crawling forward motion until it almost feels like you've got a bit of traction in your arms and in your spine. Let your tailbone reach toward your heels so you really get that length in your low back, that length across your ribs and into your arms and shoulders. And then keep that length and then start to walk your hands over to the right until you feel an arch down the side of your body. And really breathe into that left side space as if you're inflating a balloon on the left side of your ribs. And start to walk your hands back through center. Draw that length in you again, and then exhale to come over to the left side to breathe into that right side rib. Really open up those ribs on the right. Inflate that balloon on the right side of your body. See if you can feel that space increasing. Inhale to come back through center. Take an exhale to soften here. And then draw yourself up to elbows and knees. So keep your elbows and forearms on the ground. Keep your palms on the ground. And let your knees just be gently underneath your hips. And take a few breaths of cat-cow from elbows and knees. Exhale to really round your spine. Inhale to lower your belly. Pull your shoulders back toward your hips. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, lift your gaze. Try to keep the back of your neck longish. And then exhale, round your back. And then come to a neutral spine and start to just walk your feet back to come into a Sphinx pose. I need to walk my arms forward to be able to do that. Come into a bit of a Sphinx pose and just take a few breaths here. Have a little bit of downward energy through your elbows, through your wrists, and through your fingertips. So that way you have a little bit more lift than you would in a normal yin-y Sphinx. So you have a little bit more energy. There's a little bit more yang moving through the Sphinx. And you get that nice gentle lift of the heart, that gentle extension of the spine. Take one more breath here. And exhale to come all the way down onto your belly. Press your forehead to the ground. Bring your hands by your low ribs. And then gently press yourself up to hands and knees. And from hands and knees, take a few breaths of side to side cat-cow. So instead of going up and down with the spine, Move your ribs left and right. And then come to center, tuck your toes under, and come into a downward facing dog. Try to really spread your fingers in your down dog, and reach down through your pointer finger knuckles so you get that nice even weight distribution across your hands, across your wrists. And then gently soften your knees a little bit so that way you can really feel the energy of your heels reaching downward. And as your heels reach down, try to point the tops of your thigh bones a little bit higher up. Keep your low belly drawing in as you press your ribs towards your thighs. Inhale to ripple yourself forward to a plank. Let your head be the last to lift. And then exhale, ripple yourself back to your downward facing dog. We'll take 4 breaths like that. So 3 more now. Inhale forward to your plank. Bend your knees, stick your butt out, and exhale, down dog. Lift your heels, roll your spine forward. Inhale to plank. Exhale, bend your knees, pull your bum back, down dog. And 1 more time because I lost count, so I don't remember. Inhale forward to your plank. Exhale, down dog. Come forward, place your knees down to the ground. And then walk your arms forward. And if you have blocks and you just want to rest your forearms on your blocks, you could do that to come into a type of puppy dog pose. Or you can also just bring your forearms to the ground and rest your chest toward the ground for a regular puppy dog pose. Let your hips reach up as your heart softens downward toward the ground. Try to pull your hips up a little bit more as if you're trying to point your sit bones higher, as if you're trying to spread your butt cheeks a little bit more. Lift your chest, press down through your forearms, and then just pull yourself forward into your Sphinx once again. Lift your heart up, press your fingers down, press your wrists down, press your elbows down, and then start to press your toenails down. Press your thighs down so your legs become as straight as they can be, and then gently start to roll your ribs up, roll your belly button up, lift your low belly up until you feel a little bit of action, like a little mini plank. Lower your belly back down, lift your gaze, come into your Sphinx pose. Take another breath in here. And then as you exhale, draw your chin down, lift your ribs, lift your belly button, lift your low belly. Your pelvis is lifted a little bit. And if you want to add a little bit more to it, press down through the tops of your feet to come into upward dog-like legs with a forearm plank. And then lower your knees, lower your thighs, pelvis, ribs. Come into your Sphinx once again. Lower your chest back down to the ground. Bring your hands by your low ribs. Pull your shoulders back so your elbows reach toward your heels. And then inhale to a little cobra. Exhale back down. We'll take 3 more cobras. Inhale, nice gentle cobra. Lead from the back of your neck. Exhale back down. See if you can spread your toes and press your toenails down more. Inhale to a cobra. Exhale back down. And 1 more time. Inhale to your cobra. Come all the way through to a child's pose as you exhale. Draw yourself up to hands and knees. And then as you exhale, step your right foot to your right thumb. And if you're finding that difficult to do, use blocks under your arms to help step yourself through. And then from here, push down through your back foot and your front foot, so your legs feel a little bit more action, and start to lift from your hip points up, as if your hip points are guiding the rest of you to reach up, and then reach your arms all the way up. And take 3 breaths here, nice long breaths. So you can count to 4 for each breath. For each inhale and each exhale, count to 4. Take 2 more of those. And then slowly draw your arms back down to the blocks. Lift your chest up. If your hands are on the ground, that's fine as well. Some people have that space in their body. And then as you exhale, pull your right hip back to get into that right front leg. And see if you can feel that space in the back of your leg now start to wake up. And you can keep your big toe grounded or lift your toes up, but really push forward through the pinky and big toe knuckle. And as you push forward through those toe knuckles, pull back through the outer right hip, as if there's a band pulling and lengthening your leg. Reach your pubic bone down and back, as if you're trying to roll it down, as much as you reach your heart forward toward your big toe. As if you're trying to stick your bum out and your chest out. Inhale to come forward, place your right foot back down, and as you exhale, plant your hands down under your shoulders, either on blocks or not, you can choose. And then root down through your left hand, and inhale to pull your right arm up. So even pull it as if you're pulling a bow and arrow, reach up with your right arm, and then reach up as much as you can, as if you're trying to lift your arm out of the shoulder socket. Push down with your left arm, and then tone your low belly like you did in those Sphinx planks. Those forearm planks. Tone your low belly up away from your thigh. Keep pushing your feet and your back shin down for 1 more breath. Lower your right hand back down. Step back to hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up and back into a downward facing dog. Ripple your spine forward to a plank. Bend your knees, stick your bum out, downward dog, exhale. Inhale, ripple to plank. Exhale, down dog. When you come to your plank, see if you can feel like you're holding something in your armpits. Inhale to plank. Exhale, down dog. And then bring your knees back down to the ground. Step your left foot forward to your left thumb. Use your blocks if you need to. And then lift from your hip points up. Lift your chest up. And then reach your arms up. Really push down through your front foot. Push down through your back shin. And then lift up from the hip points. Two more breaths. Lower your arms down to the blocks or to the ground. Lift your heart up, broaden your collarbones, and exhale to pull your left hip back. Either keep your big toe rooting down into the mat or lift up, but reach forward through the ball of your foot. Get that feeling like you're trying to stick your bum out, like you're trying to stick your chest out, as if you're trying to arch your back. Bring yourself forward, place your left foot back down on the ground if it's not already. Maybe use your blocks or place your hands on the ground, and then root down through your right hand and really push down as if you're trying to push through the mat. Pull your left arm up as if you're drawing a bow and arrow up, and then reach up with that left shoulder. Reach your left arm out of the shoulder socket And draw your low belly away from your front thigh. Keep pushing down through your front foot, keep pushing down through your back shin, and really feel that energy reaching out through your body. One more breath here. Gently bring your left hand back down to the ground. Step back to a downward facing dog. Ripple your spine forward to your plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, dog. And then place your knees down onto the ground. And then maybe turn to the side of your mat if you feel like you need to. Bring your left leg out to the left and draw yourself up. Reach your arms all the way up. And exhale, arch over to the left. Bring your left hand down your left leg. Root down through the whole of your left foot so the pinky toe side is also reaching down, as if you're trying to pick up the arch of your left foot. And then reach your right hip more to the right. Reach back from your right shoulder blade as if you're leaning back against a wall until you feel your bum squeeze a little bit. Inhale to reach all the way back up. And then exhale, bring your right hand down to the ground and reach overhead with your left hand, like you're in a side plank variation. Push down with your right hand and your right knee, and then really try to reach your left side, your top side, fingers and toes away from each other. And lift up as if somebody's picking you up from the side of your waist. One more breath here. And then exhale your hands down. Come back and walk your hands forward in front of you. And then swap sides. Place your left knee down. Reach your right leg out to the right. Flatten your right foot onto the mat. Push down through the whole of your foot and then start to lift yourself up to kneeling with a kickstand leg. Take an inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale to arch over to the right. Let your right hand come down your right leg. Then lean back with your left shoulder blade. And take 2 more breaths here. Inhale to come back up. And then exhale, bring your left hand down. Reach your right hand overhead. Push down with your left side and lift up from the right side. 2 more breaths here. Slowly bring yourself down to the ground. Walk your hands back to in front of you. Come back to hands and knees. Come back onto your mat if you had to pivot. Then tuck your toes under. Downward facing dog. Inhale forward to a plank pose. Place your knees down. Lower your chest down to the ground from a kneeling plank. So a kneeling chaturanga. Not knees, chest, chin, but a kneeling chaturanga. Untuck your toes, reach your elbows back and lift your heart up. Cobra pose. Exhale your chest back down. Tuck your toes under. Lift your low belly, lift your ribs up. They might not actually lift, but get that feeling. And then from your ribs and your low belly, that space just below your belly button, press yourself up through a kneeling plank. Tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat to a standing forward fold. Have your feet under your hips in a nice supportive way so you feel balanced. And let yourself dangle. Bring your hands to the ground and let them slide up your shins as you inhale to lift up halfway. And then exhale to fold. Slide your hands back down. Do 2 more of those. Inhale, lift up halfway. Try to straighten your legs and your spine as you get to that halfway point. And then exhale, bend your knees. Fold forward. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift. And hold here as you exhale. Bring your hands to your hips. Push down through your feet. Reach your shoulder blades back and lift up from the back of your head, from the back of your neck. Come all the way up to standing. Take a deep breath in, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Place your hands to the ground. Inhale to lift up, but keep your fingertips connected to the ground or to blocks. Exhale to fold. Step your right leg back. Place your right knee down. Take an inhale and reach your arms all the way up. Nice low lunge. And then exhale, round your arms to bring them back to the ground. Inhale to pick up your back knee. Hold in this lunge for your exhale. Hold for another inhale. And then straighten your front leg as you exhale. Inhale to rebend, lift your heart. And this is where blocks might come in handy so that it's a little bit easier to get into this. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Inhale, lift your heart, bend your front knee. Push down through your back toes, and then exhale, straighten your front leg. Really keep your feet pushing down as if you can push them through the mat. One more time. Inhale, bend your front knee. Exhale, straighten both of your legs. Fold over that front leg. And now inhale, bend your back knee and lift your heart. Exhale, straighten your back leg. Inhale, bend your back knee, lift your heart. Exhale, straighten. Inhale to bend. Exhale to straighten. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Keep your right hand on your block or on the ground. And then inhale, lift your left arm up and twist toward your left leg. Twisted triangle. Take another breath in here. Exhale it completely. Pull your low belly in. Push down through both of your feet as much as you can. One more inhale. Exhale your left hand back down. Place your hands down to the ground. Bend your front knee if you need to do that. And then step back to a downward facing dog. Ripple your spine forward to a plank as you inhale. Place your knees down if you'd like to. Exhale through a chaturanga variation of choice. Come to your belly, untuck your toes, and then inhale to a cobra pose. Have that feeling of holding something in your armpits in your cobra. Exhale your chest back down. Draw your ribs up, draw your low belly up. Press up through hands and knees. Tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Reach your right leg to the air for a three-legged dog. Hold it for your exhale. Bend your knee. Open your knee out to the side. Stack your right hip over your left. Inhale to recenter. Exhale to open. Inhale, center. Exhale, open. One more. Inhale, center. Exhale, open. Come back to center, straighten your leg, and then step your right foot forward to your right thumb. Take a deep breath in here. And then exhale, step your left foot forward. Standing forward fold. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Lift up halfway. Hold for your exhale. Hands to your hips. Push down through your feet. Lead from the back of your head. Come up to standing. Take a deep breath in. Reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Let your fingertips connect to the ground, and if that means bend your knees a lot, do that. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Step your left leg back. Place your left knee down. Lead from your hip points. Take an inhale and reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, round your arms around your front foot. Come onto your blocks if you'd like to. Lift up your back knee. Hold for your exhale. Hold for your inhale. And then exhale, straighten your front leg. Inhale to bend into your front knee, lift your heart. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Push down through your back foot. Push down through the hold of your front foot. Inhale, bend your front knee, lift your heart. Keep your feet pushing down. And that'll help stop you from opening your hips up. We want to try to keep our inner thighs reaching toward each other. Exhale, straighten your legs. Inhale, bend your front knee, lift your heart. Exhale, straighten your legs. One more inhale. Exhale. And now the back knee. Inhale to bend your back knee. Lift your heart. Exhale, straighten and fold. Inhale to bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Push down through your left hand and inhale, reach your right arm up. Twist toward the right. Push down through both of your feet. Squeeze your inner thighs toward each other and draw your low belly in while you try to reach your right arm out of that shoulder socket and really push down through your left arm. One more full inhale. Exhale your right hand back down. Bend into your front knee. Place your hands locked off to the side and step back to a downward facing dog. Ripple your spine forward to a plank. Knees down if you'd like to, chaturanga. Come to your belly. Untuck your toes. Inhale, cobra. Exhale to your belly. Draw your ribs up, draw your low belly up. Press up through a kneeling plank or hands and knees. Tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale to lift your left heel up. Exhale here. Bend your left knee. Open the left knee out. Stack the left up over the right. Exhale to come back together. Inhale to open. Exhale together. Inhale to open. Exhale together. One more inhale to open. Exhale together. Straighten that back leg, deep breath in, and then exhale, step your left foot to your left thumb. Hold for your inhale. Step forward as you exhale. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Lift up halfway, hold for your exhale. Bring your hands to your hips, shoulders onto your back. Push down through your feet as you lift up from the back of your heart, all the way up to standing. Bring your hands onto your hips. Shift your weight to your left foot and draw your right knee up to your chest. Deep breath in. And then exhale, sweep your right leg back, straight back behind you. So we're just going to move through that motion. Use your arms if you'd like to. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach back. One more. Inhale up. Exhale back. And start to bend your front knee. And step your back foot back for warrior one. Reach your arms up. Take a deep breath in. Warrior one. Exhale here. Root down through your right heel, your back heel. And then pull that hip point forward away from that heel. Push down through the heel of your front foot. And then grip your toes in a little more. Reach up with your arms, but keep your neck nice and long so your shoulders don't go into your ears. And then grab your right wrist with your left hand. Root down through your right heel more. Take a deep breath in to lift up with your right wrist and exhale, arch toward the left. Take 2 more breaths here. Try to have that arch a little bit of an angle away from your from your back heel. Come all the way back up. Exhale your hands to your hips. Pull your low belly in, lean forward, push down into your left foot, and then slide your right foot forward. Good. Balance onto your right foot, draw your left knee up as you inhale, and then exhale, reach your right heel back, your left heel back. Bring your arms into it if you'd like. Inhale your left knee up, exhale your left heel back. Inhale your left knee up, exhale your left heel back. One more, inhale up, exhale back, bend your front knee, step your left foot back. Put your left foot at a 45-ish degree angle for warrior one, and then reach your arms up. Push down through your feet, root down through your left heel, then pull your left hip point forward away from that heel. See if you can lower your right butt cheek a little more. Now grab your left wrist with your right hand. Inhale to lengthen the sides of your waist, and as you exhale, arch toward the right at a bit of an angle away from your left heel. Two more breaths here. Inhale to come back up. Exhale your hands to your hips. Draw your ribs in, lean forward into your front foot, and slide your back foot forward. Good, take a deep breath in, reach your arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, fold forward. Step your right foot back, then turn your right foot down for warrior 2 feet. So your right foot arches in line with your left foot heel, and then bend your left knee. Maybe have your hands on blocks for this, and then start to move your hands over to the right at a bit of an angle. Just bend into that left knee. Try to keep it in line with roughly the middle of your left foot. Just getting into that hip a little bit without it being too intense in the legs. And then keep that left knee bent. Push down through the pinky side. So you don't want to roll the pinky side foot up. Push down to the pinky side of your back foot and bring yourself up to warrior 2. Push down through the heels of your feet, and then pull your shoulders back enough that you can even wrap your arms up so your palms are facing up like you're holding trays. And while you're holding these trays, inhale to reach your thumbs back, and exhale around your spine, bring your pinkies forward. Inhale back, exhale forward. Inhale back, exhale forward. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. 1 more. Inhale, and exhale. And bring your hands back down to the blocks or to the ground. Walk your hands around your front foot. Pivot your back heel up. Step forward, standing forward fold. Lift up halfway, fold forward. Step your left leg back. Turn your left heel down. Arch in line with heel, and walk your hands to the left, maybe in line, maybe on blocks or maybe not. And start to bend into that front knee a little bit. Like you're trying to ease your way into the pose. See if you can keep your knee in line with the middle of your foot. Keep the pinky side of your back foot pressing down. Maybe you're using blocks, or maybe even kettlebells if that helps lengthen your arms, that's fine as well. Keep your right knee bent, and then bring your arms up, warrior 2. Turn your palms up so your shoulder blades go down your back. Then reach your arms up a little bit. Take an inhale. Exhale to open. Inhale, reach up, like you're squishing the thing in your trays. Exhale to open. Inhale up. Exhale, open. 1 more. Inhale up. Exhale, open. Bring your hands Hands back down around your front foot. Pivot your back heel up. Step forward. Standing forward, fold. Lift up halfway. Fold forward. Roll yourself up to standing. Reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Hinge from your hips. Lift up halfway. Fold forward. And then heel to your feet wider than your shoulders. Bend your knees a little bit side to side. Maybe start to bend your knees wide. And even start to push your elbows into your inner knees if you have that space. Using blocks can also help you with this. So it's sort of like a squat, but not really. It's just a nice feeling. Stick your butt out a little more. Lower your bum down a little more. And maybe with the blocks, you can place your hands on the ground, your bum's nice and low. And then step your left foot back. Place your left knee down. And untuck your left toes into a nice lizard pose. Just let yourself take 4 breaths here in your lizard pose. Three more breaths. If you want to come down onto your elbows, your forearms, you're welcome to. But I'd like to remind you to try to keep the goal of this to feel it in your hips and pelvis rather than just trying to get your head low. One more breath. Straighten your arms if they're not already, and then turn your right toes to the right. Lean into your left hand, and then just either with your elbow or with your arm, just push your right knee away from you and twist to the right. And as you do that, then try to bring your left hip point, your lower hip point, toward the heel of your front foot. Point that low hip point to your front heel, and then pull your top shoulder blade back. Bring your arms back down, point your toes back forward. Tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee up, and step your back foot forward nice and wide to come into that weird non-squat thing. Keep your hands on the ground and step your right foot back. Place your right knee down. Untuck your right toes and just be in this lizard pose. Really let your pelvis come down, but draw your right hip point forward. Your back leg hip point, draw it forward a little bit more. So you're not just relying on flexibility. There's a lot of you that are quite flexible. So see if you can keep your hip points reaching toward each other. Keep your feet drawing down, and imagine you're trying to wrinkle up the mat between your legs, like you're trying to squeeze your legs together a little bit. Not max effort, not so you can't breathe while you're doing it, but just a little bit so you don't feel like you're relying on your flexibility. One more breath. Maybe you've come down to your forearms. I didn't say it this time. Sorry. And then straighten your arms if they're not already. Bring your right hand to the right. Turn your left toes to the left. And either press your forearm against your left knee or your hand against your left knee. And then lean back away from that left knee, your front knee. Pull your right hip point, your back leg hip point toward your front heel. And then draw your top shoulder blade back away from it. One more breath here. And then bring your left hand down. Point your toes forward. Bring your hands down to the ground. Tuck your back toes under. Lift your back knee up. And step forward to the wide-legged squat, almost squat thing. If you can come down into a squat, go ahead and do that. If you can't, don't worry about it. Or if you feel like you want to try, maybe put something under your heels or something under your bum. accessible. Take one more breath here. Bring your hands down. Lift your bum up. Remove any props. Now start to walk your feet back to a wide-footed down dog. Bend your knees as wide as your ankles are and reach your chest between your thighs. Try to wrap your armpits to point toward each other. And then lengthen the sides of your waist. Pull your hips away from your armpits. Bring your knees back down to the ground, wider than your hips. Untuck your toes and then thread your left arm under your right armpit to bring your left shoulder, your left cheek to the ground. And then maybe reach your right arm forward or reach your right hand behind your back. And just take this puppy dog twist for 3 breaths. Some call it thread the needle. It probably has a Sanskrit name, but I have no idea what that is. If you do, tell me. One more breath. Bring your right hand back down in front of your face. Press yourself back up to hands and knees with wide knees. And then thread your right arm under your left armpit. Bring your right shoulder and your right cheek to the ground. Maybe bring your left hand forward or bring your left hand to your low back or even your right thigh. And take 3 breaths here. Bring your left hand back down in front of your face. Press yourself back up to hands and knees. Sweep your legs around to come into a seat with your legs in front of you. And with your legs in front of you, straighten out your legs. And then pull your right heel toward your groin, but come at an angle. Straight an angle, as if you're in a wide-legged seat, but your front leg is facing the front of your mat. And from the angle, turn to your left leg, to your straight leg, and fold over it. Doesn't matter how much you go. Try to keep your heel low, pushing down into the ground, and then try to push your back knee toward the ground more. This pose is really nice for helping release that QL pain, that tightness in your low back, just above the SI joint. Start to roll yourself back up. Turn to center and fold over center. Maybe bring your hands to the ground, forearms to the ground. Maybe you can bring your chest to the ground. I cannot. But try to keep your heel of your straight leg pushing down. Try to keep your hip points, your sit bones pushing down. So you don't want to lift your bum. I mean, you might want to, but that's not my intention for this pose. But if you want to, I guess, go ahead. I can't stop you. Take one more breath here. Start to press yourself back upright. Bring your right hand back behind you. Push down with your right hand and your right knee, and then lift your hips up. Let your left foot come to the ground. Come into a flash dance. Take 2 breaths here. Really try to point that top hip point forward more. One more breath. And then lower yourself back down. Straighten out your right leg. Pull your left heel in. I'm just going to swap sides so you can see better. So your hips are open. Push your right heel down. Turn to your right leg and fold over it. Keep your right heel grounded. Keep your left knee grounded. Keep your hips, your sit bones grounded. One more breath here. Draw yourself back up. Turn yourself to center and then fold over the center line. See if you can still keep your hip bones, your sit bones rather, grounded. Maybe come down to your forearms. Maybe your chest can come down. Maybe use a block or a pillow underneath your chest so you can feel a little bit more at ease. Or maybe you're sitting straight upright, and that's fine as well. Start to straighten yourself back upright. Bring your left hand back behind you. Push down with your left hand and your left knee. And then lift your hips up. Reach your right arm overhead. Plant your right foot down. Come into this flash dance pose. Reach your hip points forward. Reach the back of your heart back. Take one more breath here. And then lower your hips back down. Sweep your legs out in front of you. Bring the soles of your feet together. Bring your knees apart. And if you have no socks on, maybe you can pull your bum cheeks out from underneath you. Take your fingers between your toes. Fingers between your toes. And then lift your chest up, roll your pubic bone forward and fold forward with your fingers between your toes, giving your feet a little bit of that loving kindness, that nice attention. Some of you might think this is disgusting and weird or feel very awkward and strange, but it is a really nice gift to give your feet a little bit of care, a little bit of massage, a little bit of space to breathe, especially since we spend so much time on our feet, using them to carry us around. Let's give them a little thanks. It's also a really good way to notice that you need a pedicure, but everything is closed, so you'll have to do it yourself. Take one more breath here. I actually don't even know where I would go to get a pedicure. I've never had one in England. Release your fingers from your toes. Draw your knees together. Keep your feet on the ground with your knees bent. And then lean back into your hands. Just give your knees a little windshield wipe side to side. This can sometimes feel like a nice little bum massage as well. Come back to center once you've done an even round on both sides. And then lower yourself down onto your back. As you find yourself on your back, then just take a few breaths here. Cross your left thigh over your right thigh. And then bring your knees up toward your chest a bit. Reach your arms out to the side and lower your legs to the right. If your left left shoulder is lifted, that's fine. If it feels uncomfortable or painful, then maybe place a pillow or a block underneath it, or just bring your arm down so your hand is on your waist, or wrap your arm around your head. Slowly start to roll yourself back onto your back. Uncross your thighs. Hug your knees in and maybe make some circles with your knees. Circle in both directions. And place your feet back down. Cross your right thigh over your left. Let your arms come out. Then bring your knees up and then over to the left. Let them just come to the ground. Maybe they need to rest on a cushion. Maybe crossing the thighs just doesn't feel right for you, and that's fine. You can just uncross your thighs. Nobody's forcing you into any of these poses. You just, whatever your body's craving, just listen to it. Take that time to pay attention to what it's asking. Start to slowly roll yourself back onto your back. Uncross your thighs, hug your knees, and then do another little circle round of your legs. Circle them the other way. And then just hug your knees in to your chest. Just hold your legs there, your feet up above your hips. If you have a wall that you can put your feet on, place your feet on the wall, or maybe the edge of a bed or sofa. Maybe even straighten your legs up. Just give yourself a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of that sort of draining of the energy that builds up in your legs. Let everything just start to melt away. A lot of kids do this pose just intuitively in bed or after busy days. So come back to that childish innocence and just have that playfulness of just letting your feet be up the wall. If you have the energy to, you can even just let them hover. And then you're welcome to stay like that with your legs up the wall, or if you want to come back down and let your feet come down to come into your Shavasana, feel free to do that as well. Maybe take some cushions under your knees, maybe wrap some blankets around you. Let yourself just find that space to relax. Let your arms come by your sides, let your feet be light and easy. Let your legs and your arms just start to ground downward like anchors, just keeping you grounded, keeping you earthward. And let your breath just wash over your body. Let your body just relax as that breath washes away any residual stress or tension that you're able to let go of. There might be some left over after. That's why we keep on coming back to the practice, to try to chip away at it bit by bit until we feel nice and light and calm and steady in so many ways. But for now, just embrace and enjoy the bits that you can release and the lightness that you can find wherever that may be. Maybe it's just in the softness of your forehead. Maybe it's in the heaviness of your tongue. Maybe your neck all of a sudden feels longer, or your shoulders feel more relaxed. Maybe your back feels like it's melting into the mat, or your hips feel light and airy. Maybe your legs feel freshened and lighter. Or maybe your feet feel stronger and energized. Whatever you're experiencing, wherever you feel that change and that release, just indulge in that and enjoy that and relax and rest into that. Allow your breath to begin to deepen and lengthen. Maybe you start to feel those deep, long breaths reach down to bring a little bit of energy and movement down to your fingers or your toes, to help you bring back that awareness, that reminder of where you are and what's happening. Maybe through slow and controlled movements, you start to just feel a little bit more energy come into your body. Maybe rock your head side to side. Maybe just lick your lips, roll your tongue over your teeth. And take a deep breath in and reach your arms overhead. Exhale out your mouth and relax your body. Take one more inhale, reach and stretch yourself nice and long. And exhale, maybe yawn. Bend your knees one at a time, placing your feet on the ground. And slowly roll onto your right into the fetal position. And when you're ready, keep your legs heavy, keep your eyes closed as much as you can. Press yourself up to a comfortable seat. And take a deep breath in to lengthen your spine. And exhale to soften your body and ground downward. Take another long sipping breath in through your nose. Hold for a moment at the top. And slowly exhale out your mouth. Bring your hands to your heart or to a prayer pose. And take another breath in to lift your thumbs and your chest. And exhale, soften your chin toward your fingers. And give yourself a moment of thanks for your movement, for your energy, for your time and your attention. Thank you all for spending your time with me, whenever that may be. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.